All right. Welcome, everybody out there in Internet land. Welcome to the SOSCAST, only here on Valuetainment. My name is Adam Sosnick. What a wild weekend of news out there. Yep. You know, we do our shows Tuesday and Thursday, so we have the luxury of seeing what happened on Friday. Thursday, we were doing a show, right, Nat, with Rich Cooper, Entrepreneurs in Cars. And panel, ladies, I get a text from Nat. Well, she shows me her phone. Say hi to Natalia Davai, everybody out there.
Hello, everyone. Happy SOSCAST Day.
What's the text that you showed me?
We had to end early because we had breaking news with Trump, and we ended the podcast early, and we drove over to the other building, and we went live with PPD. PPD
says, listen, cut out the show off, SOSCAST. I get it. You have Rich Cooper on. You're having a good time. I get it. You're talking finance, romance, relationships, red pill, uphill, this, that, downhill, all that. But we got breaking news. Donald Trump, guilty, 34 counts, New York, Manhattan. What the hell's going on here? Lock him up. Lock him up. That's a lot of people were shouting. I remember where a lot of people were shouting, lock her up in 2016. Very weird stuff. But today we have a lot of action that we are going to cover real quick. It's the old school Saz and Nat show.
Saz and Nat.
We're back.
Alejandra.
And Alejandra say
sprinkled
hi
in there.
With a little bit of Colombian, chiquita, bonita, en la casa. And of course, you guys out there, thank you for being a part of what we do here. By the way, this weekend we actually had big news because we officially crossed 250,000 subscribers here on the SOSCAST. Yay! I remember when we started this thing, man, we had negative subscribers. That's how broke we were when we started this thing. Negative. How do you go to negative? Somehow we did it. It was kind of like a debt for followers. But look at us now, Nat.
Look at us now. Look at us now.
I wish I could reach you, but I can teach you.
Oh, you can teach me.
But thank you, guys. I appreciate what you're doing. You know, everything that we're doing is A, for you. B, we're evolving. You know, I started the show, it was about money. It was save that money. All we talk is money. And then it turned into finance, and we incorporated a little bit of romance, relationship. Next thing you know, all the red pill guys started showing up. Oh, what's red pill? Oh, I didn't even know about that. I've been focused on the green. Everything was going on with that. Obviously, PBD podcast, politics, current events, everything in business gets infused. All of a sudden, feminism shows up. Our friend is like, oh, I used to be a feminist. What the hell is that? I don't even know about that. I'm learning. We have a lot of our red pill friends show up. We've traveled to Romania. We traveled to Spain. We're interviewing Andrew Tate. We'll be talking about some of the stuff that he's dealing with today. We did a big live event with our guys Fresh and Fit. We've had Pearl on. We've had financial people. We've had relationship people. We had Colby Covington on recently. He'll be back in a few weeks. We've had comedians on. We had Jamie Kennedy. Hollywood. We're doing a lot of culture conversations. You know, they say because of Andrew Breitbart, the late great Andrew Breitbart, said politics is downstream from culture. It all starts with the culture. So we were a cultural podcast that infuses finance, romance, money, dating, relationship, politics. It's political season. But if there's something that you want us to cover specifically here on the SOSCAST, we're all ears. Nat?
All ears.
There she is right there.
I want to hear. I want to hear
she
what you want to hear us
talk about. In her ear. What you got going on. You all know that Nat Hooked on Phonics worked for her.
It did. And here
when
I
met
am.
her, she couldn't pronounce a sentence. Today, Junior. Thank you, Billy Madison. Look at her now. Look at that smile. Ding.
Ding.
Hey, y'all.
I can read now.
And we can read now.
Yes.
You know, I'll spare you the homeless, footless, toneless, penless thing.
Thank you.
We know Nat. We're proud of Nat.
And we're proud of you.
We're proud of you.
I'm proud of you. Congratulations. You have, you put in a lot of work over these years. You've really put the subscribers first, and you've grown SOSCAST, and you've led the way. And I've had to let you lead the way. And look, 250,000.
A man leads.
I learned that.
Woman follows.
I learned that.
But you gotta be careful for the man that you let lead. I learned that from you.
There you go. Exactly.
Because sometimes you pick sometimes
not
so good.
Not so good.
Not so good. But thank you guys for being here.
Yes.
250,000 subscribers. Our goal is to get to 500,000.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Within the next 6 months. We're climbing. We're growing. Obviously, PBD Podcast is about to hit 2 million. Shout out to everybody that's a fan of Valuetainment. Shout out to everybody that's a fan of the PBD podcast. Shout out to everybody that's a fan of SOSCAST. Everything that Vinny does, that Tom does, all our content creators out here at Valuetainment. We appreciate you.
Yep.
We're working hard. We're working hard for the money. So hard for the money. So you two pay me right.
You always continue if I dance.
There it goes. Anyway, we appreciate you guys.
Thank you, guys.
And
let's get into today's topic.
before we get into the stories, by the way, what did you think of the event that we were at this weekend?
Oh, it was so epic. It was our first nighttime live debate event, and it was phenomenal. It was great conversation. We got to meet a lot of you guys who came and spent some time with us.
Chris Cuomo, Dave Smith,
and we had actually all the talent creators here within the building. So, it's a great opportunity to even network and hang out with us.
Well, actually, I wasn't even referring to that. I was referring to the Miami Swim Week with all the models that invaded Miami.
Enjoy that. I enjoyed something different that invaded the place I was at.
It's hanging out and interviewing and talking to all the models. It's a hard job, guys.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But somebody's got to do it. But anyway, we appreciate you. That's enough of the banter. Let's get ready to rumble with the show today. Here's some of the topics we'll be covering today.
Let's go.
Trump is literally Donald Trump going to jail? Like, they've given the rumors about this.
Yep.
They've alluded to Hillary locking her up. At what point is it like, what is happening in America today that the next president of the United States, former President Donald Trump, could be serving time in jail? We'll have that conversation today. And you want to hear what I have to say about that, because I have a very interesting take.
Yes.
I think I'm one of the few people that has this take on Trump in America today. How much money Trump has raised.
Cha-ching.
Millions
We
from the guys that got the billions, making it rain in the Trump campaign. We'll talk about that. Andrew Tate. This is a name that was all up in the news, all up in the videos, all up just like Suge Knight talked about Puff Daddy back in the day. Tate, what's going on with Tate these days? You don't hear a ton about Tate. He's still out there.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the name. Everyone knows the game. But there's some breaking news what's going on with Tate these days.
I want to hear.
We got some insider information. Can't share everything, but stay tuned to what we have to say about Tate. And actually, there's some polls that we're going to run through on Tate.
Oh.
So we're not just going to talk about it. We're going to be about it. We're going to show you some proof, the receipts,
We love that.
as the kids say, about what Tate is going through right now. Kanye, this guy, unbelievable. You know what I love about Kanye?
What?
He loves all people. He never makes any sort of chaos.
Yeah.
He doesn't call out any specific groups.
Never.
He's a loving type of person. He's one with God. That's what I love about Kanye. But his relationships with the ladies, questionable at best. You're going to hear what happened with Kanye and the allegations that are happening with Kanye West these days. Chelsea Handler's back in the news. Chelsea Handler, I don't know if she plays in the NBA or maybe even the WNBA, but Chelsea Handler likes getting dunked on. Sometimes it's by men. This time it's now by a strong, powerful woman dunking on Chelsea Handler. And then Jerry Seinfeld's like, oh, yeah? Well, I'll tell you what I got to say about that. That's my Seinfeld impression.
Good.
Last but not least, Pride Month is here.
Oh, yeah.
I know you guys are super excited about that. I hear some crickets. It's all good. But there's something that happened during Pride Month where people were like, not in my bar, not in my house.
Yes.
Okay.
I had some experience with that this weekend myself.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh,
well, we'll
can't
talk
wait to
about
hear
that when
about
we
that.
get there.
But anyway, thank you guys for being here. We're gonna run through some stuff. Natalia's in the house.
Howdy.
Alejandra's in the house. Appreciate you guys being here. Let's get this party started. So, Donald Trump. Have you guys ever heard of him? Is he a new name?
Oh, no, we've heard of him.
In your resume, you never heard of Donald? Yeah, we all know who Donald Trump is.
Yep.
And one of the things I always said about the trial with Donald Trump is, how is this guy going to be judged by a jury of his peers? We're all right to a fair and speedy trial. How does he get a fair trial in the state of New York by a jury of his peers? This is a billionaire former president. This has never happened before. And you got 12 jurors being like, okay, he's one of my peers. Donald J. Trump, former president, billionaire. Very hard, very complicated. But here's where I'm at with Donald Trump. But we're going to do the run through right now. Get ready that clipped little montage here. Let me know when that's pulled up. But I have a very unique take on Donald Trump. I feel like, if I may, one of the few people that can actually give an unbiased take on Donald Trump. Now, people might be saying, what the, you, bro, you're the guy? I actually think I am, and I'll tell you why. Let's play the clip first, and we'll get right into Donald Trump and the situation with being guilty 34 counts.
This Sunday, guilty. This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge. Donald Trump becomes the first American president convicted of a felony after a New York jury found him guilty of 34 counts of falsifying business records.
I did my job. We did our job. The only voice that matters is the voice of the jury, and the jury has spoken.
It's reckless. It's dangerous. It's irresponsible for anyone to say this was rigged just because they don't like the verdict.
How will the historic verdict impact the 2024 race?
The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people.
My guest this...
Okay. That was a nice little mashup right there, a little montage right there. We had a couple people in that video. We had Donald Trump, former President Donald Trump, leading candidate of the Republican Party, just convicted 34 crimes. We had Joe Biden basically saying, you're calling it rigged, DJT. I'm saying that it's reckless to do that. We had Alvin Bragg, the, how do we say this, compromised district attorney in New York. We actually have some insight about what his former, let's say boss, Cyrus Vance, who was the former Manhattan district attorney, had to say. A lot of things going on there in New York. And I'll tell you where I'm at with Trump. And you guys tear me apart if you don't believe me. I truly, truly believe, especially in mainstream media, if you go on the left, CNN, MSNBC, pretty much all the three-letter cable networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, those guys are going to skew left, especially if you're looking at late-night comedy. Colbert, Fallon, Kimmel. I mean, it's pretty lefty over there. Then if you go right, you got Fox, you got OAN, you got even Breitbart, whatever you want to say with that. Other publications out there, Fox Business, that obviously skew right. I don't know many independent media outlets or independent, fair talking heads on YouTube. So whether you have Alex Jones on the right, whether you have Cenk Uygur on the left, whether you have the Andrew Tates of the world or the Fresh and Fits of the world, whether you have the Sam Cedars of the world or the Kyle Kalinskis of the world, whether you have the Tim Pools of the world, you know where they stand. With me,
You never know.
you don't really know where I stand.
Yeah, you never
These
know where you
days.
stand. Yeah.
You don't really know where I stand. Now, even PBD, I don't want to put his business out there. He's a registered independent, but I think it's safe to say he's voting for Trump. He's only said that a gazillion times. Even on the PBD podcast, I get a lot of heat for being, quote unquote, the leftist, communist, Marxist, ridiculous, LGBT, gay, woke Jew. No, I'm just a moderate dude.
What a title.
Okay, we know where Vinny stands on this. We know where BizDoc stands on this. Now, full disclosure, I was not a fan of Donald Trump. I did not vote for him in 2016, and I did not vote for him in 2020. In fact, I won thousands and thousands of dollars betting everybody on the PBD podcast. I said, Donald Trump's not winning this election. I'm sorry.
I remember.
They go, what are you talking about? Of course he's going to win. I said, the country's over him. The country's over him. So I put all my money, I put my money where my mouth is, and I put my money on Joe Biden. And I,
Don't say
sorry guys, laughed all the way to the bank. I told you so. But now, 2024, here's the beauty of two different case examples. We've seen 4 years of the, let's just say, chaos president. Donald Trump is what they called him. But then we've seen almost 4 years of the zombie president, Joe Biden. And it has a lot of independent, left-leaning Democrats saying, I don't know if I can do this thing anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm totally in that camp at this point. Can I really do 4 more years of Joe Biden? Can the country take 4 more years of Joe Biden? So, have I been critical of Trump? Yes. Am I currently critical of Biden? Yes. am I able to be fair and call balls and strike almost like an umpire saying, yeah, I don't like what Trump did there, but I like what he did there. Biden, I got to tell you, I don't like what he's doing, but come on, guys. Like, the whole, like, Biden can't even put two sentences together. Can barely even tie his shoes, and then he gets up there on the State of the Union and yells at people for an hour and a half. It's like, pretty sure that was like at least 10 to 20 sentences, if not like 1,000 sentences. So there's going to be people out there that are basically going to say, well, this is the way it is. I'm completely, and I mean this unbiased, I'm seeking the truth, not a narrative, and I want to do my best job, especially during the election, to be fair and balanced. I know Fox says that we're fair and balanced. You don't think Fox is fair and balanced? So that's why I want to give that disclaimer before we get into the stories about Trump. Comments, questions, concerns, Natalia?
Yeah, I want to know, how did you become so, like, right in the center? You know, you went from one way to essentially kind of moving over to the other way. What keeps you kind of grounded in the center without being, swayed or convinced to lean a little bit more to one area?
So,
and I know you're going to say follow the money, but I also want to consider, having that mindset, not being, I'm somebody who went from a little bit maybe left leaning, and now I'm definitely more right leaning.
Yeah. You were in the Barack Obama camp.
Yeah, I was. I was like, yeah, let's bring Obama in and see what he can do. And now that I'm older and I understand more about the politics, I've seen the repercussions of that, and so I've even catch myself being very, I love Trump. Let's go Trump. Let's put some policies into place. But how do you, someone who's been in the political space, have these conversations, stay so centered with knowing what these people have done? What is kind of that grounds you to stay there?
There's very few politicians I look up to. I'm not like, oh, I love Trump. Oh, I love Obama. You know who I love?
The money?
No, I love America.
Okay.
I want the best for America. I would love for a politician, one day, it's not going to happen in 2024, maybe by 2028, maybe after this chaotic political season, I would love to see a president, whether it's on the Republican side of things, Democratic side of things, get to a 60% approval rating. What does that mean? If you look at the approval ratings right now, Trump's in the low 40s.
Yeah.
Biden's barely in 40. This race to the bottom, you're not even getting 50% approval, meaning half the country does not even like you. The other half the country, even more so, hates you. Maybe they'll vote for you. They'll stand for you. We know Trump's base, 30, 40% of the country, absolutely loves this guy. Yeah. We know Biden's base is very few. It's just people that really hate Trump. 80 million people didn't necessarily vote for Biden. They voted against Trump. But I love red, white, and blue. You're talking to somebody that my father was a big JFK guy. I was fascinated, Natalia, by the Civil War.
Wow.
I mean, I had posters in my room. It was very weird.
Why?
I had three. I don't know. I loved history. I had 3 different types of posters in my room when I was a kid. I had sports players, Isaiah Thomas, I'm a Pistons fan, Dan Marino, right? Michael Jordan, I had all that. Then I had like Pamela Anderson, Baywatch,
totally
Carmen Electra, chicks, come on.
Of course.
And then I had Civil War posters. You know how you put posters up in your room?
Yeah.
It was very intriguing. I was like, what do you mean? Like us in America as a kid, 10, 12, 15 years old, we went to war against each other? Why?
Yeah.
Slavery? What? My friend? No, I don't. Why would they do? I was so intrigued by this. And I learned of a guy I called Abraham Lincoln. He was a president, Republican.
Right.
I said, I like this guy. Freed the slaves.
Yeah.
I mean, hello? I kind of, hey
like
guys,
that.
if you're going to stand for something, stand against slavery.
Yeah.
Stand against
I agree.
the persecution of human beings. Let's
do that.
Let's do that. Not hard to do. And then my father was a JFK guy. So I had this hero of Abraham Lincoln. I also had this sort of folklore hero, Camelot president, JFK. Right? This is all before my time.
Right.
And then Bill Clinton comes along, and here's this guy. He's like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, all right. He's out there kissing black babies and high-fiving and doing his thing. Dave Chappelle did a whole skit on this.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like this guy. He's kind of cool. And he wasn't like this stodgy George H.W. Bush, who's a Reagan guy. I liked Reagan too. So the point is, I've looked at Republicans and Democrats, and I like good things about them, but I don't idolize any president during my lifetime, right? You idolize the JFKs of the world, the Abraham Lincolns of the world. So what's my point? I don't have anyone that I'm like, that's my guy. But I will say this, because you asked me where am I at politically.
Yeah.
There's actually evidence of where I'm at politically, and I'll tell you a story. So PBD, in 2019, we get to talking. Hey, what are you doing with Valuetainment? Because I met Pat in 2012, for those of you guys that don't know this. I met Pat in 2012 at a financial conference. I represented my company. I'd be all over the country. Marketing my financial company out there, and PBD was doing the exact same thing. We met working out in a gym at this event. We get to talking. Fast forward, we keep in touch. I see what he's doing on social media. He encourages me to start doing social media. We start talking in 2019. All right, I think we're going to do something. Boom. Kobe dies. Oh, my God, that's crazy. Oh, my God. All right, let's circle back after. Oh, my God, COVID just happened. What the hell? Finally, I have this opportunity to work with PBD. It's in my hands.
Yeah.
And I said, COVID be damned. I'm making my way to go team up with PBD to Dallas. And he said, listen, before you come here, I got to know a couple things. Number one, what skeletons are in your closet? I was like, I was a groomsman in the Kardashian Humphreys wedding.
There's some blackmail in there?
There's a different kind of blackmail going on with the Kardashians. Hey-o. But I don't know, I'm pretty open book. I say what's on my mind. I'm out there.
Yeah, he's out there.
So he goes, okay, cool. There's nothing you need to know. Where do you stand politically? Are you a Trump fan? No. Are you a Bernie Sanders fan? No. Who do you like? I said, if I had to pick somebody, it would be the Democratic senator in the reddest state in the country, West Virginia. His name is Joe Manchin. He said, tell me why you like Joe Manchin. And I said, Joe Manchin is a very reasonable guy. And he's a Democrat. But how does a Democrat get elected in the reddest state in the country? Okay? That's like Florida, pretty anti-woke.
Right.
That's like a progressive leftist getting elected governor ahead of DeSantis. What? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because this guy just has common sense. And he's been a Democrat, he's been a Democrat, he's been a Democrat. But look what he just announced this week. Joe Manchin just officially announced that he is now officially an independent.
Wow.
He is no longer a Democrat. The coal-loving senator from West Virginia's decision to leave the Democratic Party is honestly the least destructive choice he could have made. Why? Because, I didn't leave the Democratic Party, so to speak. The Democratic Party left me. Now, I'm a registered independent, and again, admittedly, wasn't a Trump guy. But after 4 years of Biden, hey, America first, y'all.
Right.
Because, there's one thing to cling to your position. No, I would never. It's blue or nothing. I would never. Dems before thems, always. That's what it is. And you're not willing to say, yeah, maybe I was wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not my thing. Now, I'm not a loyalist to Trump. I'll tell you where I think he screws up. There's a lot of people, they'll say, I'll vote for Trump, but I don't like these certain things. There's just I voted for Biden, and there's a ton of things that I don't like.
Right.
So you asked where I stand politically.
Yeah.
I'm dead even in the center. I'm a very moderate person. Last point, when PBD came out with his book, Choose Your Enemies Wisely, I said, I don't really have a lot of enemies, despite what we kind of see on the online comments on the PBD podcast. Love you guys. In real life, I don't have a lot of enemies.
That's true.
So what I realized is the following. My enemies are two polar opposites, radical extremes. On one end, it's complete extremists, whether it's jihadists, whether it's neo-Nazis, whether it's fascists, whether it's communists, whether it's just anyone who is hardline, not reasonable, unwilling to compromise and change, and will fight you to the death for their position. You're not going to compromise at all? Nah, I can't play that game. On the other end, sloppiness.
Yeah, I know you hate that.
Just sloppiness.
I know you hate that.
Whether
so
it's
much.
how you keep your house, whether it's how to keep yourself,
Yep.
whether that's the way you look. That one girl, I went in her car one time. I was like, what, did a bomb explode here? Disgusting.
Yes.
I don't do business with sloppy people. If you look sloppy, if you act sloppy, if you work sloppy, tighten it up.
Yeah.
On one end, loosen up in it, bro.
Right.
On one end, tighten up a little bit. Tighten up, clean it up.
Yes.
So that's where I stand politically. So now I started this saying, basically, I can be an arbiter of truth and tell you actually what's going on there in the marketplace, the political marketplace, and actually speak the truth. So that's where I stand on Donald Trump. I'm a registered independent. America first. I'm not here for the red. I'm not here for the blue. I'm here for the red, white, and blue. And the green, and the money. Save that money. So that's where I'm at politically. Thank you for asking that.
Yeah.
You look like you want to say something. Yeah. Dígame. What did you want to know?
Nothing else.
Let's turn her microphone up because I want to hear my friend Alejandra.
I think that's also what people, they may like about you, but I think that's also what grinds people's gears is because you are so in the middle. And and I can say that because it grinds my gears sometimes how so much you're in the middle of certain situations. But I can appreciate that because it allows me that I've learned to not react in an emotional way and really think in the logical sense, right? Even there's right and there's wrong. You know, you have to come to that gray area that you shared. So as much as people hate you for kind of being so strongly in the middle, I think it's needed. I think today having that.
I want more hate. I want more hate.
I think it's needed.
But I appreciate you guys. I don't want all the hate, but I want, listen, the best thing you can be is be loved and helping people. And I believe I do that. The next best thing you can be is hated and being the grinding of the gears. The worst thing you can be, number 3 on this list, is irrelevant. I have no clue what this guy is.
Yes.
That's not what we're doing here.
No.
Let's move right along.
Let's do it.
Okay. So now you know where I stand politically. Now you know what's going on here. So we all saw the breaking news that happened on Thursday at around 5:30 in the afternoon. Breaking news.
Yep.
Former President of the United States, Donald J. Trump,
guilty,
convicted, charged, criminal, 34 counts. He showed up the next day to Trump Tower. He put on his best suit, and he did his thing and he gave a speech. And he held a press conference at Trump Tower the day after his guilty verdict. I want you guys to listen in.
That's from our website.
And hear what, this is on VT.com.
Yep.
Listen in to what Trump had to say at this press conference. Holly, you got this? Let's go.
When you look at our country, what's happening where millions and millions of people are flowing in from all parts of the world, not just South America, from Africa, from Asia, from the Middle East.
Yes, we can't hear anything.
And they're coming in from jails and
pause
prisons.
it for a second. Thank you. Did the audience hear that? I heard none of it.
No, I didn't hear any
So
of
if
it.
we can't turn that up. By the way, that was the first 9 seconds. Then go to 116 and play the rest of what Trump had to say.
And they're coming in from mental institutions and insane asylums. They're coming in from all over the world into our country. And we have a president and a group of fascists that don't want to do anything about it. Because they could right now, today, he could stop it. But he's not. They're destroying our country. Our country is in very bad shape. And they're very much against me saying these things. They want to raise your taxes by 4 times.
Ali.
They want to stop you from having cars with their ridiculous mandates that make it impossible for you to get a car or afford a car.
So he's railing on the Biden administration right there, but specifically I want to focus on what he had to say about the verdict. At 116, go ahead.
It's ready.
Highly conflicted. There's never been a more conflicted judge. Now, I'm under a gag order, which nobody's ever been under. No presidential candidate's ever been under a gag order before. I'm under a gag order, nasty gag order, where I've had to pay thousands of dollars in penalties and fines.
Nasty woman.
And was threatened with jail.
Right.
Think of it. I'm the leading candidate. I'm leading Biden by a lot, and I'm leading the Republicans to the point where that's over. So I'm the leading person for president, and I'm under a gag order by a man that can't put 2 sentences together, given by a court. And they are in total conjunction with the White House and the DOJ, just so you understand. This is all done by Biden and his people. And maybe his people more importantly. I don't know if Biden knows too much about it, because I don't know if he knows about anything. But he's nevertheless the president, so we have to use his name. And this is done by Washington, and nobody's ever seen anything like it.
So I'll say a few things about this. Do I like to see what's happening with President Trump? Hell no. I don't think this is a good look for our country. At the same time, do I think he did some of the things that he's accused of? Well, yeah. Okay. Did he meet up with Stormy Daniels? Yes. Did they probably go into a room together? Yes. Was there some sexual misconduct that was going on there? Yes, allegedly. Were checks cut via Michael Cohen? Well, yes. Do I think these are felonies? That the President of the United States, 34 counts, should potentially end up in jail? Hell no. So two things could be true at once. I could be like, yeah, I believe the jury, took the evidence into account. And I believe that the judge, however impartial, was at least fair. I don't know. He did contribute a massive amount of money to the Biden campaign. The judge, do you know how much he contributed? Judge Juan Marchand, he contributed $15 to the Biden campaign. 15. So is that compromised or not? I don't know. Not a lot of money.
Still.
But still.
Any money is money.
Follow the money.
Yeah,
I don't like
exactly.
it. I don't like it. So, but then also when Donald Trump says, Biden can't put two sentences together, I think when you set the bar so low for somebody, all they could do is jump over that low bar. And when he says, I'm beating Biden by a lot, I'll show you what these polls are looking like now. It's not a lot. So we'll have that conversation. Again, I'm being fair, guys. I actually want Donald Trump to have the ability to beat Joe Biden in the election on November 5th. This trying to beat Trump in the pregame, I think is a load of BS. So, Trump is going to have the ability to appeal. I hope that he wins this appeal, and I hope that there's a free and fair election come November 5th. That's what I want for this country. But when you set the bar so low for Joe Biden, and they interview Joe Biden, and he's able to form a couple sentences, it kind of looks like maybe you're being a little hyperbolic. Yeah. So here's Joe Biden commenting on Trump's claims that he's behind his legal woes. He said, I didn't know I was that powerful. Let's get that clip ready. Oh. So Fox News correspondent Peter Doocy questioned President Biden about Trump's assertions. Trump claimed that his legal problems were being orchestrated by Biden and his people, though there is no evidence that the Biden White House played a role in the case that was brought by the state of New York. We got 50 states in this country, Nat. I know you're really good with the states. 50. Mashed potato. And then collard greens. Yes. Federal executive office, the Department of Justice doesn't really have jurisdiction about what's going on in the state of New York or in the Manhattan district. Doesn't take a attorney to know that. By the way, I took my LSATs. I almost went to law school. Oh. Didn't. So you're talking to a guy who studied his LSATs. Oh. Meaning, I am definitely not a lawyer.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, you didn't pass, though.
But I know the law.
Yeah, okay.
So here's what Biden had to say to Fox News correspondent Peter Doocy. Go ahead.
2 sentences.
Helps Trump in the election. Are you worried that this could happen to you someday? Somebody comes up with some charges and tries to bring you into court after your term?
Not at all. I didn't do anything. The system still works.
And when Trump says you're just trying to bruise him, what do you say? Politically. He thinks you're pulling the strings behind the scenes, doing all this to help yourself.
I didn't know it was that powerful.
So
he's awake today.
When he's saying, I didn't know that was powerful. There it is. See, make the jokes. He's awake. Look, I'll say this about Joe Biden. Is he all there? Nah. I have multiple bets with multiple people. I'll be following up whether Joe Biden will actually be the nominee. I think he will be. I have multiple bets that I made 4 years ago whether Joe Biden is going to finish his first 4 years. I'll be following up on the money.
Nice.
Why do I know this? Why would I have this, again, not emotional?
Yeah.
What business am I in?
Business of money and
but,
people.
No, but my company, my other company.
Oh, yeah. Insurance.
I'm insurance, but it's something called life settlements. And part of the cornerstone of life settlements is we buy out existing life insurance policies for cash. That's neither here nor there, but the cornerstone for us determining how much money to pay out is we determine
The life expectancy.
The life expectancy
Yep.
of
people.
Not hundreds, not thousands,
Millions.
not tens of thousands, millions of people. So all you need to do is put a calculation in, beep, boop, beep, boop, boop. You have an 80-year-old male with the following conditions. He sniffs kids from time to time. He likes ice cream. He may or may not have dementia. I don't know what's going on here. He's from Delaware. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, he's going to live another 12 years.
B rating.
And that was,
Yikes.
okay? So, you know, Jimmy Carter, who he's often compared to, I think is 99, about to be 100 now.
Yep.
So I was never in the camp that Joe Biden's going to die in office. I was never that guy.
Right.
So I took every bet that. Now, does that mean I'm voting for Biden? No. It's just, I will take stupid bets.
I know you will.
Oh, you don't think? Okay. I'll take your
money.
bet. So Joe Biden puts these two sentences together, basically saying, yeah, I didn't do anything. I have no role in this.
He probably didn't. He's just behind the scenes. Everybody probably does it for him. He's just the walking guy. He's the Muppet that's walking around that's being controlled by the people doing whatever
he's
they're
a
doing.
Muppet that's walking around
Yeah.
being controlled by people.
Yeah, he looks completely checked out. Every time you see him, he looks like a different guy. Every time he opens his mouth, he sounds like a different guy. And if you want to be honest, you only see so many of the people behind him. His face is plastered so many places. The people behind him, like, who's really in his camp? Who's his back end? What does their marketing team look like? What do those people look like? I never see them. I don't know about you, but I've seen some of Trump's camp. I've seen the individuals who work a part of that team. And, you know, when you don't see the real people behind the scenes, you question, you know, who's the person leading the pack.
Natalia just went there. There's a shadow government.
I'm
There's a
sorry,
purple
but
government.
it's true.
Okay, who's
It's
pulling the
true.
strings?
You are who your team is.
Well,
If your
I'll tell
team
you
is-
this. I will tell you this. There's a lot of people that agree with you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that voted for Biden that agree with you. I'm not disagreeing. But I actually had a conversation with one Chris Cuomo. You ever heard of him?
I've heard of him.
Oh, I know. I see the way that you be looking at my friend Chris.
Chris is great. He does
And
great.
Chris
hair.
is great. Chris, I'm not going to say who said it or said what. He goes, you want to know the scariest thing about what's going on in the Biden administration? Everyone thinks that it's someone else calling the shots, that he's the one that's listening to this dark puppet, shadowy government. Is it Obama?
Oh.
Okay. Is it the chief of staff? Who is it? What's going on there? Is it Susan Rice? Who is it? Who's behind the scenes? He goes, I got scary news for you. It's actually him. That's even scarier. The call's coming from inside the house. Joe Biden. I said, how do you know that? He goes, oh, I have a guy. You don't think Chris Cuomo knows somebody?
Yeah.
The Democratic Party that's working inside the house? How scary is that now?
That is even more scary.
Okay, so there you go, there, puppet master.
Yikes.
But, so we'll see what happens with that. So Trump's calling it rigged. Biden's calling it reckless. Now, Trump has surrogates, lawyers that basically defend him. Talking heads, as they say.
Oh.
We've had Alina Habba on the podcast.
Yes.
The
I remember
lovely
her. She was awesome.
Trump lawyer Alina Habba. Holla! Alina Habba, she's great. She's just cool as hell and
She is.
smart
Yes.
and classy.
She's
I'm a fan.
I'm
a fan.
Me too.
Shout out to Alina. But she's been on the podcast. She's educated us. She's obviously not happy here.
Yep.
She was one of the people representing Trump.
Yep.
She caught that L, but we'll see what happens with the trial part 2. So George Stephanopoulos, another talking head on NBC, he cuts off the Trump lawyer after he suggests that Biden was behind Trump's conviction. Again, this is Alvin Bragg, the DA, Letitia James. She is the Attorney General out there in New York. This is the judge, Juan Marchand. I couldn't think of the word judge. This is the jury. Judge, jury, executioner. This is one of Trump's attorneys basically saying, yeah, I think it was Biden behind this. And George Stephanopoulos said, let's roll this clip. It's at 7:28. You can play it a little faster.
You want to talk about the politicization of the legal system? I mean, this is Exhibit A. It's absolutely unprecedented in American history. It's not the way that our campaigns are supposed to be run. We contest elections at the ballot box, not in the courts in this country.
That is true, but of course we've never had a former president or a presidential candidate facing the kind of charges that the president faced because of his own activities. And of course, the Attorney General in Manhattan has nothing to do with the Department of Justice. Finally, what do you expect from the sentencing process?
I vehemently disagree that the district attorney in New York was not politically motivated here, and I vehemently disagree that President Biden and his political allies aren't up to their necks in this prosecution. I think the fact
there's
that
no
the Biden
evidence of that,
campaign was-
sir. I'm not going to let you continue to say that. There's just zero evidence of that.
Well, how about the fact that Matthew
Manhattan is
Colangelo was standing over Alvin Bragg's shoulder when he announced this verdict? I mean, Colangelo was the number 3 official in the Biden Department of Justice who suddenly disappears and shows up as an assistant district attorney right as Trump's case in New York starts to proceed.
After
you want to talk about
political
You want to talk about political coordination?
This has nothing to do. This has nothing to do. No, it's not. This has nothing to do with President Biden. Do you want to answer the question about the sentencing process or not?
I completely disagree that this has nothing to do with President Biden. With respect to sentencing, as I said before, we're going to vigorously challenge this case on appeal. I don't think President Trump is going to end up being subject to any sentence whatsoever, and we look forward to getting this case into the next court and taking this again all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court if necessary to vindicate President Trump's rights.
Thanks.
There you go. Guys, I'm just going to continue to remind you, I'm on Team USA. I'm going to show you what the left is saying. I'm going to show you what the right is saying. You can determine where you go from here, but I'm trying to give you the truth. I don't have a narrative. I'm just trying to give you the truth. Now, somebody that is allegedly might have a narrative because he questioned Trump's loyalty, or Trump questioned his loyalty, rather, is former FBI Director James Comey. James Comey, he's the one, by the way, a week ago that predicted on air, on camera, that Trump would be found guilty. People said, no way. But now he's on former White House Secretary Jen Psaki's show, Sock It To Me, baby, talking about what it would look like if Trump actually went to jail and the likelihood of him going to jail. Here's James Comey on Jen Psaki's show. Go ahead.
That it was highly likely to result in a conviction. That's obviously what happened. A year ago, you made this prediction about Trump wearing an ankle bracelet. Do you think he's going to be wearing an ankle bracelet or be in jail after the sentencing?
By the way, notice the spray tan.
I don't know.
He's trying
It
to do
seems
Trump.
unlikely, but I've never seen a defendant beg for it more by attacking the judge, attacking the jury, attacking the witnesses. One of the key things in assessing what sentence is appropriate, a judge looks at, so are you sorry for what you did? Are you respecting the system? This defendant is running the other way.
Before the verdict, you had said it was highly likely to result in a conviction.
Gotcha. So I don't know if you caught that right there. He basically said, look, do I think he's going to end up in jail? Unlikely, but I've never seen somebody beg so much to be put in jail. Trump was, the gag, they have a gag order. It's a beautiful, ugly gag order.
Yes.
What's a gag order? He's been held in contempt of court. If you ever see the movie My Cousin Vinny, my clock is ticking, if you don't remember that. My biological clock is ticking. A great scene. My Cousin Vinny. That's why I learned all my lawyer skills. My Cousin Vinny. Shout out to movies in the early 90s. Contempt of court is when the judge could basically say, oh, if you don't shut your mouth or act right, I'll throw your ass in jail. Stop talking. Fine, jail, sentence, bing, bing. Trump apparently got 10 of them. Now, how much are each one of those fines? I think it's like $1,000.
Oh.
Trump can pay it. But he said, I'd be pissed as hell if I was Trump too. Why the hell am I in court? All my business is out there. My stupid ass porn star ex-girlfriend is out there yapping at the gums. My ex-fixer, Michael Cohen, ratting on me, piece of shit. I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Freaking pissed. I'm sitting in court. I should be campaigning. You got Sleepy Joe over there in the corner yawning. Yawning and falling.
Help.
But then he says, okay, he's begging for it. Contempt of court. Never seen anybody do that. And it seems unlikely that he will go to jail. But Jen Psaki asks him the next question, what would it look like if he went to jail?
Yeah.
Walk me through this.
Yeah.
Is this even doable? And this is what he said.
So a lot of people have suggested that there are a range of factors that would make it difficult to put the system has not been tested in this way. Do you agree with that it would be difficult or nearly impossible for the law enforcement institutions to put him in actual jail?
No, they would just put him in a double wide somewhere out near the fence, out in the grass. And he would eat there, he'd shower there, he'd exercise there, he'd be away, as Danya Perry said, from general population, but it's obviously doable.
It's obviously doable. Think about this for a second. Donald Trump locked up in jail, working out, getting big, getting swole, Orange is the new orange, they say. In the double wide, eating, showering, exercising out in the yard, scared straight Donald Trump version. Unbelievable that this is where we're at in reality today. If this weren't true, it'd be unbelievable.
Yes.
So what's going to happen to Trump now? Now, there's a lot of people out there basically saying, hey, listen, Joe Biden, you should have done the right thing and pardoned Trump. What do you think about that?
I don't know about pardon. I think it's just let's get the actual facts. I think we need to just get the facts of what really took place and then move forward that way.
Well, Natalia,
yes,
they just had a court case, trial, where the facts came out.
And?
He was found guilty.
Okay, I get that. But how did they come to some of these, like, the final decision of that?
It's called evidence. It's called testimony. It's called...
Yeah, but is it really worth him going to prison like that? Is it really worth him going to jail? All of these allegations?
Well, these allegations have been proven true. That's why he's
guilty. But is it worth what he is being guilty of to go to prison?
I don't want to see him in prison. I'm just letting you know it can happen. But it was a trick question because should Biden...
I don't know about pardon, though.
Should Biden pardon Trump? He can't because, again, this is not a federal court case. This is a Manhattan District of New York court case. But you know who could pardon Donald Trump?
Who?
Is the governor of New York. Who's the governor of New York?
I don't know.
By the way, the former governor of New York is your Man Crush Monday's brother, Chris Cuomo's brother, Andrew Cuomo, governor of New York. You were born in New York, Nat. Let's get with it. But now the governor of New York is a lady called Kathy Hochul. Now there's a guy called Dean Phillips. He's actually running for president. He's a representative out of Minnesota. He's basically saying, hey, listen, Governor Hochul, pardon Donald Trump. Now, just reading the headline, you would think, wow, this guy who's a Democrat from Minnesota who's running for president against Biden would want to see the best for Donald Trump. You got to read beyond the headlines. So go to that story real quick. He said, I think that Governor Kathy Hochul should pardon him for the good of the country. By making him a martyr would result in an electoral boost. It's energizing his base, generating record sums of cash. Throw up that article one time, Alejandra, and we're going to scroll down and read his tweets. So Donald Trump is a serial liar, cheater, and philanderer, a 6-time declarer of corporate bankruptcy, and an instigator of insurrection, and a convicted felon who thrives on portraying himself as a victim. Governor Kathy Hochul, you should pardon him for the good of the country. So it's kind of like saying, hey, you're a dirty piece of shit. Nobody likes you. You smell. Nobody wants to hang out with you. Oh, my God, you're disgusting. Hey, can we get this guy a pardon? What a backhanded compliment by Dean Phillips. By the way, he says, so you think pardoning is stupid? Making a martyr over repayment to a porn star, that's what's stupid. Election charges are entirely different. It's energizing his base, generating a record sum of campaign cash, and will likely result in an electoral boost. So that's what he's saying about a pardon. Now, Donald Trump, he's also speaking. All right? Donald Trump, you know, we talked about lock her up. And now Donald Trump, almost sort of serendipitously, could be the one getting locked up. Donald Trump was just doing an interview with Fox News with our buddy Pete that was just on the show, actually confessing that locking up Hillary Clinton back in the day would have probably been a terrible thing. Let me know when you have that clip.
Come on, just relax. Donald Trump says locking up
So,
Clinton would have been...
I want to follow up on what Rachel asked you, though, because I hear you struggling with it. I hear you say it's a tough question, a bit unsure. You famously said, regarding Hillary Clinton, lock her up. You declined to do that as president.
I beat her. It's easier when you win. And they all said lock her up. And I felt, and I could have done it, but I felt it would have been a terrible thing. And then this happened to me. And so I may feel differently about it. I can't tell you. I'm not sure I can answer the question. Hillary Clinton, I didn't say lock her up, but the people would all say lock her up, lock her up. Okay, then we won. And I said pretty openly, I say, all right, come on, just relax, let's go. We got to make our country great.
Yeah.
And it would have been, think of it, you lock up the wife of a president of the United States.
They want to lock you up over $130,000 of an accounting thing, and she
and a perfectly stated accounting thing. But you know, people also say, can you bring the country together? And the answer is yes. Success will bring the country together because I had it together. Before the China virus came in, I had it together. We really had it together. And it would have stayed. I think it would have stayed. Everybody was doing better. The country was doing better than it had ever done. And we're going back to those same policies and then some.
So there he is. They're basically admitting, hey, listen, it was all political fodder. It was campaign stuff. It was marketing. Lock her up. Drain the swamp. Build the wall. All three-letter words. Basically, easy marketing for a fifth grader. And that's not a knock. That's actually how you need to communicate. Keep it simple, stupid. The KISS principle. We all know that. But this back and forth, tit for tat thing, lock her up. Now he's getting locked up. We've seen the impeachment inquiries into Trump, impeached twice, but not actually found guilty by the Senate to actually be removed from office. Now we've seen impeachment inquiries into Biden. This tit for tat thing, Republicans are going to do it to the Dems next. If Joe Biden somehow gets reelected, you know they're going to try to do something with him. This political prosecution, this political persecution, this political precedent of a president who's a resident of Washington, D.C. Plymouth Rock didn't land. Okay, sorry about that. But it's weird. It's not good. It's not a good look for the country because Republicans are going to do it to Democrats. The Democrats are going to do it to Republicans. It's not a good look for the country. And he's basically said, I could have done it. Relax. I could have done it. I should have done it. I would have done it, but I didn't. I didn't do it.
He was the bigger person, and now look what they did to him.
What's that?
He said he was the bigger person, and now look what they did to him.
Interesting. This is the swamp people. They're coming after DJT. I don't like it. But we're going to see what happens here for the benefit of our country. But, you know, the justice system, there are people on one side saying that it's the weaponization of the justice system. You have people saying, like Donald Trump, saying that it's a rigged system. You have people like Alvin Bragg saying the jury has spoken. Joe Biden saying that this is the system at work. Which side are you on? Is Trump guilty, or is he guilty of being a threat to Joe Biden's presidency? Here's what I do know. We'll have an answer. You know, there's how many people in a jury? 12. I don't want you to say the wrong answer. So 12 people
12
convicted him. But you know who's going to be the ultimate jury? About 150, 160 million voters, United States, on November 5th. That's my girl. She gets it right every time. 50% of the time, she gets it right every time. So here's what voters are basically saying after the aftermath of this conviction, because they do polls. Not them polls. Some of these ladies are out here on these streets.
Don't be on them polls.
Talking about political polls.
Good, those polls.
Okay. So nearly half of independents think Trump should drop out following the guilty verdict. There it is right there. Unbelievable. Half of independents.
What?
So we all know a large percentage of the country is going to go right, going to go Trump, going to go MAGA no matter what. We all know a large percent of the country are going to go left, Biden, Democrat, no matter what. But the independents, especially in swing states, are the people that move the needle.
Right.
So here's some numbers for you. 49% of independents believe Trump should drop out. It's almost 50%.
That's crazy.
50 minus 1 is what, Nat?
49.
That's 49. That's my girl doing math for y'all. 15% of Republicans, weird. 15% of Republicans basically saying, yeah, I'm on Team Trump. I'm on Team Republican. Yeah, you should drop out. What? And 8% of Trump supporters said that they think they should drop out of the race. What?
Wow.
In a race that is neck and neck, we're going to show you some results in a second. This is not good for Donald Trump. By the way, you know who the largest majority of voter affiliation is now these days? Republican or Democrat? You know who it is?
No.
Who do you think it is? Independent. Independent. 45% of Americans identify as independents. You know who's an independent?
Me.
Me.
Me
Moi.
too. Me too.
I'll go left, I'll go right. Americans are bipolar. You know, they say that the sanest person, the least craziest person should win this election. Why? Because Americans are bipolar. Every 4 to 8 years, I'm going with this guy, I'm going with this guy, I'm going with this guy.
Because the swing's so hard.
You know, the one thing that I love about America, we get buyer's remorse. Oh, you don't like your pick? Remix it the next year, the next 4 years. So that's what's going to happen there. After the conviction, 25% of independents now say they're less likely to vote for Trump. 56 said there would be no impact. 46% of voters think Trump should be sentenced to prison. We are a polarized country. We are a politicized country. People want to see Trump in jail. People want to see Trump like king forever. It's a very weird time in America. But here, last point, let's look at the polls. There's a source that I trust, 538, because they are they add up a bunch of polls different together. Show this. Who do you think is leading in the polls right now? Punch in on that. Trump is up by 1 point, 41 to basically 40.
Oh, thank
Remember
God.
I said at the beginning,
Oh,
oh,
thank God.
do you know what the margin of error is though? 2%, meaning they could be right or wrong by 2%.
I know.
So Biden could have 42% and Trump could have 39% in his example. Margin of error. That's how they do it in the polls. By the way, you got our friend RFK, the little engine that could. 9.6%. Can he get to 10? Can he get to 15? Can he get to 20? The last candidate that we ever had
Can he donate
that
to
hit
Trump?
double digits was Ross Perot in 1992, 19%. I think if RFK can get on the stage, I think he could do some damage out there. But there it is, guys. Trump, guilty. The left said this. The right said this. Trump called it rigged. Biden said it's reckless. We're going to see what's going to happen. Who has your votes this November? Moving right along. So we talked about the counts. Now, let's count the money.
Oh.
Donald Trump.
I love money.
Because you might think, oh my God, Donald Trump is guilty of these 34 charges in the District of Manhattan in New York. There's no way people are going to put up with it. Wrong. Follow the money. You know how much money Trump raised in the last just handful of days since last Thursday? 4 days? Take a guess.
3 million.
3 million? $3 million, Nati.
Yeah.
Guess again.
Higher or lower?
Higher.
20 million.
20 million.
Yeah.
You're getting warm. Keep going.
50 million.
50 million.
Yeah. 100 million. 100 million.
Okay. Is that your final answer?
200 million.
$200 million. Can I get an amen for Donald J. Trump?
Amen, Donald.
$200 million in a minute.
We love that.
Donald Trump campaign has raised over $200 million in just 3 days since the guilty felony verdict. Eric Trump claims he's got the receipts to prove him. Eric Trump.
Save my boy Trump.
Save my boy. You know, Nat wants to see Trump making that money. $3 million. Nah, player. $200 million.
It's the build-up.
So Eric Trump was on Fox Business, Maria Bartiromo's show. She used to be, quote unquote, the hottest conservative out there. But, no offense, some of these ladies, they be aging like milk. Chelsea Handler, Maria Bartiromo. Go ahead, play that clip. Eric Trump, go ahead.
This might be a little inside information, but as I was leaving my house about 37 seconds ago, I asked my wife, what are we up to now? And she said, just in terms of small dollar, we're well over $70 million. This is $21 donations, $43 donations, right? Small dollar donations. If you add the large dollar donations to it, you're over $200 million, but you're over $70 million. And by the way, Maria, 30% of those people have never been seen before by a political party, right? I mean, these are Americans who are pissed off. They're coming out of the woodwork, and they want to support a guy that they just believe is getting bamboozled by a system. And we saw it with impeachment 1. We saw it with impeachment 2. We see it where they weaponize every liberal DA and AG across the country with one intent, to take him down, to slander him, to ruin his reputation, to try and divide his family, to try and bankrupt him, to throw him in jail, to do whatever the hell they can do. And America sees through it. They know exactly what's going on.
So there's Eric Trump. By the way, what a surrogate, right? He's speaking for his father.
Yeah.
Donald Trump Jr. doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So he said that they raised $200 million, $70 million of it came from small dollar donations. People who are pissed, $20 here, $50 here, $100 here, whatever they can do. They're pissed off and they feel that Donald Trump is getting bamboozled. A lot of people feel that way. A lot of people feel that way. There's a lot of people that are out there happy about this. Yeah, he deserves to be in jail. He's a criminal. Okay. There's a lot of people who are like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they're putting their money where their mouth is. By the way, $100 million check was cut by Miriam Adelson. She is the wife of the late Sheldon Adelson, the casino impresario out there in Vegas. Impresario, magnate, big. When you own ridiculous things, you use ridiculous words.
Oh.
Yeah. Ooh, huh.
I like that.
Yeah. She like in the casino owner. There's Natalia de Valle, everybody. By the way, say 30% of the people have never even been seen before, meaning they've contributed any amount of money to the campaign or any political party. These are people just pissed off patriots. Respect.
Yeah.
Follow the money out there, and they feel bamboozled by the system. So, FTM, you know what FTM stands for, Nat?
Follow the money.
Follow the money. How do you say money in Spanish?
Mula.
Dinero.
I said mula.
Homegirl said mula.
Mula.
Ya tú sabes la mula. ¿Cómo se dice follow the money? Sigue la dinero.
Sigue el dinero.
Sigue el dinero. I do it every time. La
He's
dinero.
learning.
Because money ain't feminine. Money's masculine. El dinero.
Exactly.
Ya tú sabes.
Oh, yeah. You're good.
Yeah, wait,
That's right.
Show her face real
Give
quick.
us the money.
Just mi profesora,
Mi profesora.
profesora, maestra de español, sigue el dinero.
Sí.
You know,
Good.
el is the masculine version.
Yes.
Yeah.
'Cause the man makes the money,
Uh-huh.
but the money don't make the man.
And he spent
There we
that
go.
money too.
So speaking of money making the man, you know how much money, how much big money Donald Trump is, how much is getting behind him?
How much?
You guessed 3 million. Someone said 50 million. Then you said 100 million. Then you said $200 million. You won the prize. I'm talking the billionaire big dog money is now getting behind Trump. Trump's fellow billionaires boost his presidential bid. Here's this article right here from Fox Business. Let's just scroll down this list. You're going to see all these billionaires who are saying, I'm on team Trump.
Let me get my notebook out.
Okay? Richard and Elizabeth Ullheim. I don't know who she is, but she got some money.
Yeah.
Keep going on. Let's go, baby.
We got
Okay.
Kelly
Loeffler. She actually ran for senator of Georgia, and she lost to Raphael Warnock. She got money, but the husband's got the money. Jeff, what's the last name?
Speecher, yeah.
Okay, keep moving. We're going to go fast. Let's rapid fire this.
We got
this
Joe
thing.
Ricketts.
Joe Ricketts. Joe Ricketts is the founder of TD Ameritrade. He's an investment guy. Okay.
Then we have
Robert Deuce Bigelow. We know this guy. Yeah. He's the creator of Budget Suites. You know, those hotels. Why are you going to take a girl to a motel when you can take her to a hotel? We know that. Linda McMahon, that is McMahon, like the WWE, I assume, billionaire, keeping it moving. Phil Ruffin, Rough and Tough, he owns casinos. Good money in casinos because you all lose it. Jeffrey Palmer, you know you got money when you're 5'4", 100 and nothing, and you're taking down that dime, that blonde cougar dime piece. I'm just saying, you know that guy got money.
Yeah.
Jose Pepe Fanjul. Eres de Miami. Eres de Mexico. Azúcar Papi de Dinero. He's got that sugar money. Casey Warren, keep it going. These guys are all billionaires that are backing Trump. I can't see the names.
Robert and
John Paulson. John Paulson is a hedge fund guy. Just hosted a fundraiser for Trump. Raised $50 million in a night.
Wow.
Big money right there. Woody Johnson is from the Johnson & Johnson family. They own a little team called the New York Jets. The Jets are going nowhere fast. We'll see what happens with Aaron Rodgers, who basically just ran into Trump at the UFC. Steve Wynn, this guy owns casinos. You ever been to the Wynn in Vegas?
Hotel? Yes.
Gorgeous property.
Harold
Ham. The list goes on. Let's just go speed round here. Ike Perlmutter, this guy's got money. Why? Because he's a billionaire. Keep it going. These guys all got money, and they're donating to Trump. Here's a couple of names for you.
Interesting. What billionaires are backing Biden?
Billionaires are backing Biden?
Who?
I'm asking you.
I
A
don't
lot of the
know.
big tech community, probably. Mark Zuckerberg, probably. We're going to see what happens. I don't know if they've come out and said anything yet. We're going to see what happens. A lot of money, a lot of the big money is moving. Steven Schwartzman, who's the CEO of Blackstone, he's a multi-billionaire. I think he's a $40 billion guy. He just came out. Jamie Dimon, I don't know if he's officially endorsed Trump, but he's the CEO of Chase. Accidentally said Bank of America
Morgan.
last week. I mean, he could own Bank of America. That's how much money he's got to Chase.
Yeah.
He's come out and said very fond things about Trump. But then there's this other guy. Speaking of billionaires, then there's this other guy. He's not worth 1 billion. He's not worth 10 billion. He's not worth 50 billion.
100 billion.
This guy is the richest man in the world. He's got 8 letters to his name, 4 and 4, and it's called EELONMUSK, Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Worth $200 billion. And now, apparently, this is a Wall Street Journal exclusive inside the Donald Trump and Elon Musk's growing alliance. Donald Trump is weighing an advisory role for the Tesla leader in the event that the former president reclaims the White House. Could you imagine an alliance between Trump, Elon Musk, Tucker, all this money?
Very creative.
Follow the money? Interesting. By the way, it just goes to show you, Joe Rogan, not a Trump guy. Definitely not a Biden guy now.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, not a Trump guy. Definitely a Trump guy now.
Yeah.
Jamie Dimon, sort of center capitalist, maybe center left, I don't know, leaning towards Trump. The big money is following Trump at this point. By the way, you know, don't believe the hype of all the stuff that's going out there in the world, the wars, what's going on. The number one thing on every voter's mind is the money. There's a stat on the economy. Trump leads Biden over 14% on the economy. The economy is the number one issue on most America's mind. We talked about that last week. By the way, Trump alone, the campaign, just surpassed Biden's campaign for the first time this cycle in terms of fundraising. That was last month. And now with the amount of money that they raised, $200 million, his war chest is looking good. Speaking of war chest, this past weekend, just to kind of give you a little hype, a little vibe around Donald Trump, you know, I've been to not one, but 2 UFC fights.
Yeah.
When Trump walked in the room went nuts. He's strutting his stuff. American badass, yeah, oh. He walks in, by the way, 2 days after.
Look at him.
2 days after, I think we have a video. 2 days after the conviction, the charges, he shows up to UFC. He gets walked in by Dana White, escorted, some may say. Watch the crowd go nuts to Donald Trump walking in the UFC arena, 302, standing ovation with Dana White walking in. Let's play this. Trump will not go on Rogan's podcast. We're going to see what happens with that.
We'll see.
But here's the bottom line. Is there a more polarizing figure in America than Donald Trump? His base loves him. Half of America hates him. People want to see him in jail. Independents want him to drop out of the race. Here's what I know about Trump. This guy's a fighter. He's not going anywhere.
Yep.
You know what they say? Hate it or love it, the underdog's on top. And I'm going to shine whether you like it or not. That's Trump right there, y'all.
Yes, that is.
Sometimes we're going to fuse a little hip-hop into this thing. In today's attention economy, where eyeballs and clicks equals dollars and donations, who gets more eyeballs than DJT? The money's with him. The base is with him. Now let's just see if the American public is with him in this election. Let me know. Guys, we're halfway done with the show. Let's stretch out there, guys.
Stretch out.
Stretch out there.
Trump, it's okay.
Stretch out there, guys. Because we're going to be moving right along. Donald Trump, we're going to see what happens with this guy.
USA.
I'm going to take a sip.
USA.
Okay. We're going to go rapid fire on this one. So buckle up. Put your seatbelts on, you know. Get ready because we're blasting off here. There's a guy out there that you might have heard of a couple times because he is everywhere, and his name is Andrew Tate.
Oh.
What the hell's going on with Andrew Tate? This guy was everywhere in 2022. Then he got canceled. Then he was everywhere in 2023. Then he got jailed.
Yeah.
We know what happened there. PBD and myself, lucky enough, flew out to Madrid to interview him. Got the first big interview with Andrew Tate after he was canceled. I want to say that was September of 22. And then after he went to jail, I want to say December of 22, after he was let out, we went and flew to interview him in Bucharest, Romania. I want to say June of 23. Since then, he's been on house arrest. The stories, the allegations, allegedly, him and his brother, we had an amazing time. Good hosts. I've been very vocal that I think that certain people are guilty of crimes. Diddy
did it.
Weinstein, Epstein. And I think there's certain people that they want to silence them and they want them to shut them up. Tate, Russell Brand, allegations that maybe, the glove don't fit, you must acquit, but I don't think they're going to let this guy go off easily. He's a threat to the NWO New World Order. So Andrew Tate, what's going on with Andrew Tate? If you've been seeing, he's putting his stuff on Rumble. If you don't go on Rumble, have you seen any Andrew Tate clips on YouTube? Have you guys seen Andrew Tate clips on YouTube?
No, they're not.
You haven't seen anything?
No, they're not there
Is he on
anymore.
TikTok? Have you seen anything on TikTok?
No.
I haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
I do watch his stuff on Rumble. Shout out to you. Shout out to Tristan.
Yeah.
Doing your emergency podcast. But Tate, what's going on with Tate? Sort of under the radar.
Yeah.
As much as you could think, oh my God, this guy was the most Googled man.
Yeah.
Potentially even the most Googled woman because he changed his sex during the interview with PBD and I. I'm a woman now. Gender affirming. What the hell's going on with Tate? But I like to keep my finger on the pulse of what's going on with him because whether you like him or not, he's not going anywhere.
Yes.
I would suspect because his message is important, or is it? Because we actually have some polling data of what the general public thinks
about Tate.
Of Andrew Tate. So here's the latest story of what's going on with Andrew Tate. If we can pull that up. He lost his appeal to relax restrictions leaving Romania, judicial restrictions as he awaits human trafficking and rape trial. Unbelievable. Human trafficking. It still boggles my mind. Tate requested that he be able to leave Romania, provided that he stay within Europe's ID check-free Schengen zone. The Bucharest Court of Appeal ruled against Tate, stipulating that he may not leave the country. The Schengen zone allows EU and non-EU nationals to travel freely without border checks. So we know that I think there was a health scare with his mother. He tried to go back to the UK. They would have let him. We know that the UK is pressing charges. There's stories out there calling him the king of toxic masculinity. I think we have an article with that.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, Andrew Tate, king of toxic masculinity, faces 3 legal cases in 2 countries. That is Romania and that is the UK. There's allegations of rape. There's allegations of sexual misconduct, human trafficking. Where's the evidence?
Yes.
The Donald Trump trial, it was over in 2 months. It's going on how long now in Romania here? Has it been a year officially?
It feels like it's been a long time. I feel like
it's been a long time.
I think this is part of their way to really kind of silence him, is drag it out for so long. And then with other news filling up the news line, you kind of forget about people like, Tate. It's only when they have breaking news that they're convicted or something bad happened or they found something that it comes back in the news. And it's unfortunate.
Yeah, but is Tate the most Googled man in the world? I think in 2022, 2023 was, dealing with home arrest. Now in 2024, he's doing his podcast out there in Romania. I actually wanted to take a different angle on Tate. Everybody talks about Tate, but I actually have some proof about how people feel about Andrew Tate. Do you know about this?
No, I don't.
Okay, we're going to go rapid fire. So the first one is Tate's approval amongst Gen Z, especially younger boys who are concerned about the rise of feminism harming society. So a quarter of young men think feminism is harming society.
Good.
It's proof of growing Gen Z divide. Let's scroll down and take a look at some of this data. Now, go ahead. Read these big numbers.
32% of young men say they've seen content online that in the last 12 months, which suggests women are to blame for the problems facing men.
Okay. So 1/3 of men blaming women.
37% of young men have a favorable view on Donald Trump, and 45% have a favorable view on Elon Musk.
Okay, now go all the way to the left. 30% of
30% of young men say feminism has done more harm than good to the society. Revealing poll shares exclusively with big issues.
Okay, now read the number one where it says 35.
35% of young men between 16 and 34 have a favorable view of Andrew Tate, compared with 50% of men across all
Now, I'm not
ages.
sure how much I believe these numbers, but go to the source. 35% of a favorable view. This is called the big issue. A quarter of men think feminism is harming society.
It is.
Proof of a Gen Z divide. Okay, so what was the number? If you can scroll down, 35% of young men have a favorable view of Tate. I got to be honest with you. I think a lot more than that. You guys let me know. I don't know. I know that young women probably have a much unfavorable view of Tate. Scroll down to see if there's any more numbers in this article.
And maybe where it was taken.
Okay. By the way, this was from what year?
2024,
Okay,
March.
this is from March of 2024. So this is pretty recent.
Wow.
Okay, so maybe he's fallen off a little bit.
Oh,
By the way, there's some other polls. This is an interesting because on this next poll they compared Tate to basically the exact opposite of Tate, Greta Thunberg, and they break it down by political affiliation. Check this poll out with Tate. Now this is gonna be tough to see because I'm getting blind, Nat, so you're gonna have to help me out here.
Yeah.
Voters. What's
It
that?
says-
Okay, you gotta talk into the mic, mommy.
And scroll up, it says.
So scroll to the top.
Voters
are favorable of Greta Thunberg and unfavorable of Andrew Tate. So let's punch in here. So blue is very favorable. Light blue is somewhat favorable.
White is
White
haven't heard enough to say. Red is somewhat unfavorable, and dark red is very unfavorable.
Okay. So Greta Thunberg,
likely voters.
very favorable, 15%, and somewhat favorable, 14%. So you're at 29% right there. You have 46% that are basically, I don't know what's going on here. And you have 26% that are saying favorable. So it's a net +3 for Greta and a net -16 for Tate. Okay, we can just read the numbers on the right.
Yeah.
When it came to Democrats, go ahead. +39 for Greta.
And
-22.
then -22 for Tate.
Now,
and then independence, it's +4 for Greta, and scroll down. Scroll up.
Keep going.
17.
Oh, 17, -17 for Tate.
Republicans, I would assume there's a totally different answer on Republicans. Go ahead.
Yes,
Punch
-30
up.
for Greta, and then -11 for Tate.
I don't know how much I agree with these numbers, but here's what this shows me. The more left you are, you're going to be voting for Greta. The more right you are, you're going to be for Tate. But we also know a lot of conservatives that aren't exactly a fan of Tate.
Yes, that is true.
Like our girl Toria that works for...
Toria is not a fan of Tate. But I think who she would maybe more relate to, I'm not going to speak for her, but I would assume more of Tate she'd probably favor.
We'll see what's going on with that. Now, last but not least, here's women. Here's what women have to say about Tate.
Oh, ladies. I'm scared.
It's a different article. Apologies.
Right.
So we all know that women, Andrew Tate's popularity with women revealed. Scroll down a little bit.
And it's...
Go to the top of the article. I think it shows, there you're going to just punch in a little bit.
You want me to play the video?
No. Just punch in on those numbers over there. No. Punch in right there.
Yes.
Yep.
It says 13% of women said that they liked the 36-year-old former reality TV star and self-proclaimed misogynistic. The survey by YouGov found. This compares with 24% of men who said they liked him. Tate promises to free the modern man from socially induced incarceration.
So look, here's what I'll say. This, they say that people talk, numbers scream.
Yeah.
So it would seem that Andrew Tate has a net negative favorability rating. But the more masculine, conservative, traditional type man will approve of Tate. The more liberal, woke, feminist ladies doesn't necessarily approve of Tate. But it's interesting to see this data here. I actually thought it would be a lot higher in the favorability for Tate.
I did.
Every dude I run into, yo, what's up with Tate? How's he doing? I love that guy. What's going on? Do you agree with everything he says? Not really. But I do have a favorable rating of him. So, final thoughts on Tate.
Well, I mean, I think also considering the fact that his content isn't everywhere anymore either, is probably going to be an effect on that as well.
Are you saying that Tate has dropped off?
I mean, maybe shoved off.
Shoved off?
Yeah, I wouldn't say he may dropped off. I think he's just been kind of shoved off.
Like
and then that makes sense why his numbers are down is because people aren't getting the content the way that they're getting some of the other content that's being pushed.
Okay. Well, Tate, stay strong, stay hard, keep doing your thing. We don't agree on everything, but I will come out and publicly say that I think he's a net positive for men and society. We've also seen Tate evolve. The Tate of 2018,
Right.
2019, 2020, 2022 is not the same guy as Tate in
Today.
2024.
Yeah.
You have to give the people the room to adapt and evolve and move their positions and ask for forgiveness.
Yeah.
He was once a Christian, now he's a Muslim. He was once a single man, now he's a father. He was once a free man, now he's, reduced to having to stay in Romania.
Jeez.
You guys let me know. Are you still a fan of Tate? You still rocking with Tate? Has he fallen off a little bit? Has he been pushed off? That's what I want to know about Andrew Tate. Stay strong, bro. Okay, real quick story. Speaking of people who have sort of fallen off, I don't know, potentially, we'll see. Talked about Tate. There's a rapper. There's an entrepreneur. There's a vocal enthusiast. His name is Kanye West. Now, this guy,
Kanye West.
we just talked about Trump. Some people love him, some people hate him. We just talked about Tate. Some people love him, some people hate him. Kanye West, some people love him, some people hate him. Some people want the old Kanye.
Yeah.
I want the old Kanye. I want the old Kanye. I don't think we're going to get the old Kanye.
It's too late.
So could it be that everything is falling down around Kanye? It all falls down. Can you sing that?
No.
That was his first song ever. He is now being sued by his ex-assistant for sexual harassment and wrongful termination by a former assistant. Before you see what this girl looks like, do you know who she is?
I do know who she is.
Okay. Alejandro, do you know what this girl looks like?
I've actually met her and her best friend at the time. Both of them.
The girl, Nikki?
Yeah, I met them both. I ran into them.
Out in L.A., where?
Yes, it was. No, it was Florida. I ran into them in Florida. They were visiting or something. They were at Universal, and I ran into them. And that was when they were best friends, and I would follow Nikki's music, and I followed them both.
Nikki does music?
Yes, Nikki.
I just thought she was like a big booty chick that pretended to do music.
No, she's a singer.
She actually sings?
She's an actual artist, yes. Now she's a mom. And I know her and Lauren are not friends anymore.
They're not?
They're not. So there was a fall off. I'm not too sure the details of that. But when I met them, they were friends.
It all falls down. You know the song.
I do know
Stop
that song.
it.
I do know that song. But yeah, I met them together, and now they're not together.
It all falls. Kanye falling down. By the way, if you guys tuning in right now, you're like, what's going on with Kanye? Who would his assistant be? Is she like a nerd? Is she just like really
No,
like...
she's got a nice body. She got her
Oh,
work
and
right.
that don't ruin the surprise. Is she like really good at her work? Is she really good at her job? Is she smart?
She has a list.
Is she industrious? Is she studious? Is she helpful? Let's see what Kanye's assistant looks like. This is the guy that, yeah, there she is.
I mean, who wants an ugly assistant? Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Silent.
Okay.
You won't hire her?
I'm sure she doesn't walk around the office like that.
No, I'm sure she does because we're gonna have the receipts to prove it. Keep
Okay,
scrolling down,
let's
right? By
see.
the way, but okay, we know what Kanye looks like. Keep scrolling down. This is the girl he hires. Okay, yeah. Hey, can you mind getting me my coffee and
Some water.
titties? I mean,
Some water.
Some water. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Keep scrolling down. By the way, this is Kanye's assistant. We
I
have
have
more
another
images
picture.
of her. I sent you a bunch of images.
Yeah, but
So
so
here's
what if
what's
she's
going on.
hot?
While you pull this up.
Yeah, that's when they were best friends. That's when they were young.
Hold on. So here's the story. Lauren Pisciata, the former OnlyFans model.
Yes. I didn't know she did OnlyFans, but I'm not surprised because she has her body like that and portrays herself, so it's okay.
Hey,
That's
by the
her
way, can you help
choice.
take out the dogs and get the papers and the titties? I mean, what do you think Kanye's, why is he, that's his assistant, idiot. But by the way.
Well, we're not shocked. He married Kim Kardashian.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's his girl.
So
that's
what?
his girl.
So what?
He has the same body
has
as
the
Kim.
She has the same body as Kim.
Yeah,
We know,
someone
now, we
exactly
know
the
why
same.
he was hiring this woman.
Okay.
And it wasn't because she was good at Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, of course.
She was spreading something, just not them spreadsheets. Then she alleges that Kanye masturbated while they were on the phone together one time.
Yeah, that's a little lot.
She shared photos. He shared photos of himself having intercourse. Sent that to his assistant, and he detailed sex acts that he wanted them to experience, allegedly. Okay. By the way, there's a text. He says, "You see, my problem is, this is Kanye voice now. I'll be wanting to F, but then after I F, I want a girl to tell me how hard they've been effed while I'm effing them. and then I want her to cheat on me.
Oh.
What?
It seems like he's going through something. I
Yeah.
think he needs to go to church.
It's called bipolarism.
Yes.
Kanye allegedly locked himself in a room with her and masturbated before falling asleep. So this is his assistant. This is who he's hiring.
Why
By the way,
she-
do we have a bunch of more images? She also claims that he forced her to remove her cardigan in the office because it was covering too much. 1 month after Pisciata was promoted to, quote unquote, chief of staff, for several of West's companies, he fired her because allegedly she wouldn't, you know what, there's a, Kanye lost $1 billion after splitting with Adidas in 2022. What's next for Kanye? Is it a Me Too charge? And is he out for good? This girl is clearly good at her job.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we have some more pictures of her being very good at her job. Do you have any more images? I sent you a whole link.
No.
This is who Kanye chose. Let me tell you something.
Well, why would she get a job if she does OnlyFans?
Here, more images. Listen,
couple.
if you're a married man, if you have a business, if you have kids, you don't hire a busty brunette OnlyFans girl to be around you all day and say these things to her. Where do you think this is going to end, Kanye? How do you think this is going to end?
I want to know why
Defend Kanye, Nat.
No, I want to know why she wants a job when she does OnlyFans. That makes me curious because why would you go look for a job if you already have income coming in? So are you looking for something else other than money because you make money through your OnlyFans? I don't know. I'm just trying to process if you make money on your own time, doing what you do, why would you go work for somebody who's doing these things to you?
Nat, you know, this might be a little shocking. You can't do OnlyFans forever.
So
But
she's gonna work
if-
for Kanye. You're gonna go work for a man forever.
Well, if she,
unless that's your husband,
she would still be working for Kanye if she just would have removed her cardigan
That's so
because
terrible.
it was covering too much.
Honestly, if that's true, that's a shame. That should not be a work environment
show
that
more? I
any
sent you a whole
woman
link with the
should be
images.
accepted in.
Her and her friend.
But, I mean, you kind of get what you pay for in a way.
There's like 100 more pictures. You see them? Okay.
I mean, there's like you say, people don't have the common sense that you think that they have. I think I would hope or think that her, you know, as a woman, knows that type of women that Kanye's around.
Yeah.
You know, so
Hey,
obviously he's
this is my
attracted
assistant
to-
right here.
She's
We
having
can
That's
go-
an
we can go-
old
we can go
photo,
rapid
though.
fire
That's
here
an
if you
old
want.
photo. Those are old, but still,
yeah,
they're
I mean,
out there.
Go to the one that they're sitting, they're bending down, they're doing the leg thing, they're doing that move that the girls do. Hey-o.
Yeah, but he's
That's my
not your.
assistant.
He's also
Guys,
not your average CEO individual.
Listen.
Him having an assistant like that is not shocking news.
Listen,
that
let
you tell me that's his assistant, I'm not surprised.
Okay, I agree, but that's why he makes stupid decisions. Bro, do better. You want to date the girl, you want to mess around with the girl, just hire, do OnlyFans, whatever. But now you're mixing business with pleasure. That's my biggest problem, and that's my advice out there. Don't, you know, they say, don't shit where you eat.
Yeah.
This guy's jerking off where he eats, where he does his business, like it's just a weird mix and weird vibe. He's not thinking logically. He's thinking very weirdly. And what do you expect? This girl's going to sue him for an absurd amount of money.
I mean, it
You know
makes
what's going to
sense.
happen.
If I was her, I would
Sexual
too.
harassment, wrongful termination. You know they're going to settle out of court.
Yeah.
And this OnlyFans hussy with them itty bitties is going to end up walking away with millions when he should have just paid her to begin with. That's what I'm saying. Like, just, hey, honey, I know that we have 2 young kids.
But who's he?
So I know that, you know, you're pregnant now as well. And I just want everything to go well in the house and with the business. So I got porn star Lisa Ann to come babysit the kids. And Stormy Daniels will be here on the weekend. What do you think, honey? No.
Yeah, but who's his wife? Who's Kanye's wife? Who's the woman she's married? You think she's gonna say no? You think she really has a say?
I've actually never heard her talk.
Exactly.
I don't think she's allowed to talk.
Exactly, and that's why.
Forget about the wife. Protect your money, buddy. Yes. Anyway, this is why Kanye is in the situation he's in, making all sorts of dumb decisions.
Yes, and if he
stick
did that,
to music, doing good. Stick to politics, stick to business, not as much.
No.
Anyway.
And if he's doing that,
2 last stories here.
he should get penalized.
Before we move on, we'll go rapid fire here. So, you know who's catching more L's these days than a kid that can't pronounce llama?
Who?
Is Chelsea Handler.
Oh, this lady.
This lady keeps losing, and she's
Someone
only
help
going to
her.
continue losing because she's about to hit 50, and she ain't looking that nifty.
Oh.
We all know what happened when she tried to basically shame the football player Harrison Butker from the Kansas City Chiefs for being a traditional man, a Catholic man. He believes in God, he believes in Jesus, he believes in the church, he believes in traditional gender roles. She tried to shame him for his beliefs. She said that he speaks too much for a man. This is the type of woman who will never have a man, right? I can imagine Andrew Tate says, says some things about women, canceled, goes to jail, allegedly, everything with that. Chelsea Handler says the exact same types of things about men. She's celebrated. Double standard. You feel it out there. Here's what Chelsea Handler had to say about Harrison Butker, but not so fast. Dana Loesch, conservative commentator, said, hold my beer, Chelsea, because mama's home. She's going to tell you what a real woman and a real wife has to say. Go ahead, America first.
Talking more than I typically like for a male. He's a kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I learned that kickers rarely get tackled. So based on his misogynistic rant during a recent commencement address, I'm guessing this Bible thumper thumped himself a little too hard with his Bible and gave himself
Yeah. I mean, was she supposed to be funny? I mean, it just comes across as bitter. He elevated women and was protecting them if they choose that choice. If they choose to do that. If they choose not to do that. Women have the choice. But sadly, it's like these bitter harpies that don't really age like fine wine. They age like day old cheap ass whiskey. It's those chicks that get all upset if women don't choose the choices that they would choose themselves. And they're the ones who get all enraged over it. What is your deal? Like, where do these bitter, single, childless broads get off going after a guy who's talking about his successful union? If you're not married with children, I don't give a rat's ass about your opinion on marriage or families. I don't.
So, let it be known, Dana Loesch ain't exactly having what Chelsea Handler has. I mean, you ever seen Dana before? She is an attractive female. By the way, see if you can get her age and marital status and kids. Loesch. She's a proud Second Amendment lady. She's done multiple ads with the NRA. She stands for conservatism. I get it. I got to tell you, who do you think makes better wives? Conservative, traditional women or woke, liberal, progressives like Chelsea Handler? How old is she?
45.
She's 45. She have kids?
Let me see.
I'm guessing she has kids commenting like that.
2.
She has 2 kids. So here's a woman who's played her cards right, happily married, kids, doing her thing. Chelsea Handler, single, miserable, hanging out with vodka, Xanax, and dildos. And what do you think the future is for Chelsea Handler?
Just where she's at, but older, unfortunately. Which, I mean, if you want me to be honest, what are you really expecting her to promote? You know, like, she's already chose this life of what she's living. The worst thing that she can go do is make fun of herself and promote the life that she wants to have that she kind of already missed. So essentially, I wouldn't be surprised if she's just speaking to those women out there who maybe find an interest in that direction. And there's an audience for that. But I think that there should also be an audience for the people who want to go more that traditional route, and it also be praised as well. So, I mean, I get why she's promoting the life that she has, is because she's living it. But that doesn't mean, as somebody who can make a choice right now, I'm going to choose that. I think seeing both sides will allow me to kind of determine where I want to stand.
Yeah, look, do I care that Chelsea Handler is advocating for this type of lifestyle? Yes. Do I care that she is living this lifestyle? No. What's the difference? Chelsea, I don't give a shit what you do. Nobody cares what you do. But here's the reality. You're out there promoting this lifestyle to women who are going to buy into your BS.
Yeah.
And the difference is you're a multimillionaire. I think she's worth $30 million. Ex-comedian. I say ex because she used to be funny. Ex-hot comedian. I say hot because she used to be hot. Now she's a wild just unfunny, almost sad woman who just reeks regret. Now, maybe that's second guessing me. I don't know. But I don't care what she does with her life. I care about the 22-year-old girl who's like, yeah, Chelsea. The 28-year-old girl that's like, Team Chelsea. The 34-year-old girl who's like, holy shit. I don't want Chelsea's life, but it might be too late. We have a good friend that was just here working the event the other day.
Yeah.
She said to me, Adam, I don't want to be a boss babe anymore.
Yeah.
I was wrong. I said, what do you mean? You just started a business. I ain't built for this. I don't want to compete. I don't want to be against the men. I want to have a family. I want to have kids. How old are you now? 34. You better get going. Because nothing in life is worse than regret. The saltiest old man.
Yes.
86. I'll tell you back. I should have done. I should have left my wife and gone and moved and joined the circus. Whatever it was.
Right.
And he's just salty as hell. And I feel so bad for women that don't have that option. Now you can adopt, sure, but
it's not the same.
Maybe it's going to be harder. That's a challenge. Maybe it's going to be harder to lock down a man. Whereas men, you might be saying, what does this matter to men? A lot of our audience is men. Men, you don't have that challenge. You don't have that issue. Men take a little time to grow. You know, they say that men must grow. Women simply are. Men must become.
Yes.
Women simply are. Simply exist.
Yes.
So men take time to become who they are because men are status objects and women are beauty objects. I'm sorry. I just went on a rant today about why nobody gives a shit about the WNBA.
Yeah.
It's because it's not sustainable. There's a losing business proposition. They're losing money, but you're going to prop up this Caitlyn girl, Caitlyn Clark. Nobody cares. After a while, it's not going to be a big deal. But men, here's the analogy. Ready for it? You play golf? You ever played golf?
No.
Here's what I would say. We're all playing the same game, the game of golf. We're equal, but we're different. We're playing the game of golf. Now in golf, you got the long game and you got the short game.
Short game.
Now you need different tools to do different jobs. For the long game, you need the driver.
Oh.
For the short game, you need the putter.
Oh.
So for the long game, for the men, you need that driver.
Oh.
The women, for the short game, you got that putter.
Oh.
So both are important. Now what am I trying to say? The long game is going to take a little bit of time. You might not get your shine until you're 30, 35, 40, 45, whatever it is, but build a business, become something, look your best, act your best, be your best, network. You're going to have to grow. Chelsea Handler's learning the hard way that by 45, by 49, your best days are behind you, boo-boo. You didn't lock down a man. You didn't have a kid. You didn't have a family. You're not even that funny anymore. Nobody wants to hear about your sexy stories. It ain't good look. So women play the short game. If they play the short game right, you know, in their 20s and 30s, they're living their best life.
Right.
Men, I encourage men of all times, don't even think about getting married until you're 30.
I know.
What I encourage women is, by the time you're 30, have a prospect for marriage. Totally different ball game. It's the same game.
Yeah.
Just different tools that we're using to put the ball in the hole.
Oh, I like that.
There it is right there.
There you go.
So,
Go golf.
Best of luck out there, Chelsea. I don't see this having a happy ending for her. By the way, Jerry Seinfeld, he weighed in on this. Jerry Seinfeld is a man who does not seek controversy.
Yeah.
He's basically saying, what happened to all the masculine men out there?
Yeah, he's back again.
He's been talking about Gaza. He's been speaking about graduations. Now he's becoming the, dare I say it, the comedian Andrew Tate. Let's play this clip talking about masculinity. Here's Jerry Seinfeld weighing in on how a man used to be a man. Chelsea Handler. This is a real comedian. Go ahead.
Attractive looking back. And the other thing is, as a man, can I say
You sure
that?
you are? Are
yeah.
you?
I've always wanted to be.
I didn't ask your pronouns before we
I've
began.
always wanted to be a real man. I never made it. But I really thought when I was in that era, again, It was JFK, it was Muhammad Ali, it was Sean Connery, Howard Cosell. You can go all the way down there. That's a real man. I want to be like that someday. Well, no, I never really grew up. I mean, you don't want to as a comedian because it's a childish pursuit. But I miss a dominant masculinity. Yeah, I get the toxic. I get it. But still, I like a real man.
So is there anyone who's as less controversial than Jerry Seinfeld? He's come out there saying, and it helps when you talk like this, what's the deal with all these men? Because it's not alarming, and not intrusive, and not offensive, and he's kind of nice. What's the deal with all these hoes? But he's basically saying, yo, can men be men again?
Yeah.
So, you know, the chances of Jerry Seinfeld getting canceled, slim to none.
I hope so.
Okay, this guy's been Hollywood comedy royalty. But to see Jerry Seinfeld come out and basically saying, can a man be a man and a woman be a woman? And can we just stand by this? I remember when JFK, when Muhammad Ali, when Sean Connery, when he was slapping women in the face.
Oh.
There's a whole clip about that, but we won't go there right now. But just as interesting. So here's where I'll leave you with this. I did a whole panel Thursday. I said, women, ladies, you be the judge. Do you want to have Chelsea Handler's life?
Oh, no.
And be 50 with millions in the bank? Everyone knows who you are, but you're sad and lonely. Or do you want to be Harrison Butker's wife? Nobody knows your name. But you're happily married, you have kids, you've lived a traditional life, and you're being loved by a traditional, handsome man. Every girl said what, Nat?
Not Chelsea Handler.
Not Chelsea Handler. Men, you play the long game. Women, capitalize on your youth and your beauty and your femininity.
Yes.
Men, it's going to take you a little bit longer, but do what you got to do to lock it down.
And
okay?
be the driver.
Use the driver, not the putter. Ladies, you use
the putter.
The putter. No pun intended. Okay.
Cool.
Last story. This is for our happy ending. We're going to go rapid fire here. I know that everyone out there, especially you toxic masculine men, are super excited for June because it is Pride Month. Hey, jazz hands, Nat.
Yeah.
Now, wake them. I'll go.
Not,
jazz hands.
Not for the Pride.
So the Pride Month rally in Philadelphia, they set the Guinness Book of World Records for the largest drag queen story hour. Congratulations. The children are exposed to gender ideology.
Oh my God.
And drag queens read LGBTQ plus stories and talk about that pride, not pride in America, pride with wearing assless chaps around kids. It featured readings of children's books celebrating LGBTQ culture and books such as 'Twas the Night Before Pride, What Did I Hide? I'll let you guys be the guest of that. The world record adjudicator verified the record, marking the first award for the category. I believe we have a clip of him handing out the award for Pride Month. I would like you to notice who's in the audience. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
So today, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA, you had 263...
Oh my God.
Drag Storytime is, of course, a literacy program. Literacy is the foundation for success through life.
So that's the Pride Month campaign. We see what's going on out there. It's pretty shocking out there. But then in Philadelphia, I didn't know, they say literally here, ready for it?
No.
You know the nickname of Philadelphia? It's the city of brotherly love.
Oh no.
Oh, they're taking that way too real. City of brotherly love. Now, what happens when a pro-Palestinian brigade is marching for free Palestine, intersects with a gay pride parade celebrating gay pride, but also gays for Gaza?
Oh, gosh.
What do you get? You get a wonderful Queers for Palestine celebration. People got super confused the moment that protesters clashed with the pride parade, causing social media to erupt. Queers for Palestine had a change of heart. I think we have a video of these people clashing. You tell me who's who in this nonsensical, ridiculous America in Philly today. Gays for Gaza. Let's go, baby. Okay. So we always talk about this love of the progressive woke left and the Islamic jihadists and why they're strange bedfellows, why the Gays for Gaza would be advocating for Palestine when they'd be killed in Palestine or frankly any Middle Eastern country. But the hypocrisy is right here to watch. Here you go. Here's this man not letting this woman pass. They're pushing each other. They're wearing the kafifis. Here they are. Here they are. These are the gays for Pride in Gaza.
Not the bubbles.
So here's more evidence of the absurdity that is happening in America today. Newsflash for my Gays for Gaza crew. You would be criminalized, potentially put to death for doing this in Gaza. Good luck out there.
You should go.
Gay boys. Anyone out there. Natalia, what's your email? Where do people reach you?
You can reach me at my Instagram account.
Instagram? I want you to DM
Natalia.
Natalia if you want to go to the Gays for Gaza rally in Gaza. In Gaza City.
I'll send you there.
We're going to send you there.
I'll send you there.
I want you to experience what it's like, or even in the West Bank. We appreciate you, the woke, progressive Gays for Gaza Brigade that hate America, that are intersectional, oppressed, agenda, DEI, all the different acronyms out there. We want to send you a first-class ticket out there.
Jeez.
So being that it's Pride Month, you would think that the U.S. Navy SEALs would not do anything and just stick to business.
Yes.
U.S. Navy SEALs.
I
They
hope
are
so.
our best fighters out there. They are these are the people. The Marines, the Navy SEALs, these are the guys. Nope. They were meant to be celebrating PTSD month.
Oh.
But now they accidentally went Pride Month. Scroll all the way down to basically their post over here.
No way.
Yep. Keep going down. They say dignity, service, respect, equality, and pride. Okay, not a big deal. I get it. It's Pride Month, but keep scrolling down real quick. Keep going. There it is.
Oh.
Punch in. If we go to the top.
June is PTSD
It
Awareness
is
Month.
Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder Awareness Month. Okay, for all of our servicemen and women that put on the military, that are part of our defense, part of the Pentagon, that are dealing with the tragedies of what you see in war, and during post-PTSD month, you're accidentally throwing up a gang pride sign? I don't know. Here's the quote from the Pentagon. The Pentagon and the Department of Defense on PTSD Awareness Month mistakenly posted to celebrate Pride Month, quote unquote, our bad, slap in the face to every special warfare operator, one of the commenters said, and it's a threat to national security. The page was then limited due to critical comments. So that's what's going on for Pride Month. By the way, you think there's Pride Month? Every single month of the year, there's something celebrating LGBTQ. It's not just a month. They got Trans Month. They got Pride Month. They got Lesbian Month. They got Gay Uncles Day in August. Congratulations to the gay uncles out there. It's weird. It's out there. What about just, pick your day, pick your month, let it be done. But the pushing it down people's throat, no pun intended, I think people are a little sick of. Let's celebrate families.
Yes.
So you know who's celebrating families? And here's what we'll wrap up. There's a bar in Idaho.
Oh.
Okay? Idaho, Idaho, that says, yeah, I know you guys are doing Pride Month. I get it. Respect to you. But we're calling June Heterosexual Awesomeness Month. And they're giving free beers and 15% discounts to straight men. I've been to a lot of ladies' nights out there.
There you go.
Ladies drink free.
All that
Hey,
complaining.
come to my bar.
Look what you did.
Dudes drink free.
Look what you
A lot
did.
of sausage going on at these bars out here. The Old State Saloon in Idaho,
Ugh.
latest promotion in June was free beer for Hetero Male Mondays, where men dress like heterosexual males, and 15% off for straight couples on Wednesdays. I believe we have a picture of the owner, if you want to show that out right there.
No, I don't want to
The
see
owner, no, he's a regular guy.
Okay.
His name is Mark Fitzpatrick. He's a Christian. He's a conservative. He's a Constitution supporter. He's a retired police officer and a family man. And he initiated the celebration stating, Without them, none of us would be here talking about families. Because last I checked, I don't know if men can have babies.
No, Adam.
And women can't have babies with other women. They kind of need the men, the women to do their thing. Respect to all my L's, the G's, the B's. I don't know about the T's. I don't know. Respect to you. But Pride Month, you're doing your thing, but it gets a little weird with the drag.
Doing too much.
And the trans.
Too much.
And the 100 different holidays that are out there. You're doing a little too much.
Doing too much.
There's just normal people out there saying, can't do it. Go woke, go broke. That is our show for today.
Yes. Wow, we hit a lot of
topics.
Yes.
We hit it from the back. We hit it from the front. You guys let me know. Alejandra, thank you for doing all the polls.
You're welcome.
Nati,
yes,
thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you.
Donald
Great
Trump,
job.
Andrew Tate, Kanye,
West.
the chick,
Yep.
the thing,
Pride.
the pride, Chelsea Handler. Chelsea, I'm coming home, baby. I'll see you never. Thank you guys for staying for this episode of the SOSCAST. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday,
Thursdays.
4 to 6 p.m. This Thursday, we have a panel.
Yes, we do.
Stay tuned to see what's going on there.
Oh, exciting
Subscribe to the channel. We just hit 250.
Woo!
We need your help getting to 500,000
Yep.
by the end of the year. Hit sub, like the video, or Nat's going to come find you.
I'm going to
She'll
come find you.
Thank you guys for being here. Save that money. We out.
It's the SOSCAST, baby.